All right, so first and foremost, salute to the people, salute to the fam. You know what I'm saying? Always shout out to Black Goose family. I always got to, you know what I'm saying, appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Like, subscribe, comment, all that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're going against or if you're going with. We appreciate any type of views, anything y'all giving us. So let's get right into it, man. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. And I'm going to do the best I can to put this in the most simplest terms. So boxing heads can get it. Non-boxing heads could get it. And maybe a motherfucker who just thought the whole fight or the KO in particular was interesting, they can get what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm gonna do the Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin breakdown. What I'm gonna start doing in the future, and y'all can look at it for this, is certain fights I'm gonna start watching it, and rather than just y'all like just watching it with us like the Black Goose fam does sometimes, I'm actually gonna be breaking down the whole fight, and I'm gonna be telling you why I, in my opinion, believe the fighter either lost or won, whether it may be me breaking it down in this aspect why Dillian Whyte lost, or if it was in another aspect where Alexander Povetkin lost. But it's going to be a whole different vibe. It's not going to be particularly this way where it's right in front of the camera. The camera that I'm using in particular is my phone. It's not going to be this way. It's going to be a lot better. So I'm going to get right to it. My bad. I know I was talking long with it. Let's talk about it. Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin breakdown. So first and foremost, the first thing I noticed when it came to this fight, in particular, when it comes to the fans, there was a lot of shit talking after the fight when it came to Dillian Whyte. A lot of people saying Dillian Whyte was overrated. A lot of people saying Dillian Whyte is weak. A lot of people saying, I don't know why y'all even fuck with Dillian Whyte. He would never be able to handle AJ, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? Luis Ortiz, I was even seeing that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit talkers coming out of the woodwork. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't see before, but a lot of people trying to down Dillian Whyte. Okay. First and foremost, I want to say this. Dillian Whyte is an elite heavyweight. And it's really funny to me how quickly people forget the fact that he beat Joseph Parker, okay? Joseph Parker went 12 rounds with AJ. AJ didn't even remotely, not even closely hurt Joseph Parker. And even if you was looking at it from an unbiased point of view, you could have gave maybe at least 4 to 5 rounds to Joseph Parker. That's my opinion. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it. I'm just telling you from my eyes. So for everybody to shit on Dillian Whyte very quickly is very it's funny to me, because a lot of people, what they like to do is when a boxer doesn't grow up in boxing, especially boxing heads, or they haven't done it for a long period of time and they maybe transition from another sport, they love to be like, look, he was slow-footed. You know what I'm saying? He looks sloppy on the pads. You don't throw the right hand right. Look, there's so many different things you could say about Dillian Whyte, but Dillian Whyte grew up fighting, okay? And if there's one thing that he has that most fighters, especially in that heavyweight division, doesn't have, is not only power. Excuse me, let me take that back, because most heavyweights have power, but let me say this, precise power. Let me be more intricate with what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Precise power, and not only that, the will to not give a fuck. And when the fuck ends up coming up, he don't stay down. Right? And that's what I want the biggest aspect of this video to be about, is not having fans. Okay? When we're talking about a brawler versus a boxer, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. Dillian Whyte is a brawler, right? And he's going to thrive off of the adrenaline, off of the crowd pumping him up, off of him getting a knockdown, that left hook going right under, bow, with that left hook, and being able to capitalize and trying to finish that. Instead, he becomes a boxer when you're talking about you ain't got no adrenaline rush, nobody in the crowd kind of just going crazy for you when something crazy happens. It becomes literally a boxing match. It's a glorified sparring match. Like, literally, motherfuckers is boxing, because there's no incentive to really go for the KO unless you're going against a motherfucker from another a gym. But even at that point, when you're at the level that Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin is, it's not the same for somebody trying to prove themselves, right? So that's what it becomes. There's a lull. There's not the same type of oomph in it for some. You know what I'm saying? For Povetkin, it works perfectly for him, because he's like, I love this. Let's keep it boxing. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it boxing. White's not going to take it nowhere else, but I don't want to get too sidetracked. We're going to get into that. But I want to break down something else real quick when it comes to this fight. Right? And I kind of missed it earlier in a sense, right? So Justin Zen just hit me with a message. Salute to Zen for this right in the middle of the message. He said that knockout is #1 on ESPN right now. That's fucked up. It's disrespectful. Dillian Whyte's going to come back stronger from this. The reason why is because there was something I was seeing interesting from Dillian Whyte, that if you was coming from American boxing, you would say it was fundamentally wrong, right? Or if you would come from, because Alexander Povetkin is not American boxing, and he doesn't necessarily, you know what I'm saying, you got the bob, you got the weave, right? And then you would duck under the hooks, okay? Dillian Whyte was ducking under the hooks. He was leading forward. He was putting all his weight on his front foot. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you put all your weight on your front foot, what ends up happening is you're going to be leaning forward. You're going to be cutting off your own distance. So you're not going to be managing your own distance right. I've never seen Dillian Whyte do that in my life. I've never seen it, right? But it was working. If you was watching the fight, because I'm going to break it down, man. First round, you know what I'm saying, it was arguable, man. Some could call it draw. Still, I gave it to Whyte. Second round, Whyte. Third round, Whyte. Fourth round, Whyte. Fifth round, crazy. So for everybody just to discredit Whyte the way they are is crazy to me, because Whyte was literally winning the whole fight. And I actually think he would have ended it earlier if there was fans. He wouldn't have left Povetkin off the hook, but it became the glorified sparring match. Who could outbox the other? And there's no 9 times out of 10 when it comes to sparring, if someone got more experience, if someone's a better boxer, they're gonna win in sparring all day. But when it comes to the actual bang, other factors come into play. But when you don't have no fans, a lot of people don't realize how important fans are. You know, I thought Dillian Whyte looked great. Certain maybe fundamentals you want to switch up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't duck forward when you're ducking the hook. You know what I'm saying? You can lean back on that back foot. You can duck down. You can stay right there, straight in position. But at the same time, I've never seen him do that in any other fight. I've never seen him. That's what got him. You know what I'm saying? Other people will try and talk about that straight hand. You know what I'm saying? When he throws a straight hand, it's more of a hook, a slapping hook, rather than an actual straight hand. But even Dillian Whyte, he's talking about that. He said even in his last fight, that was the first time he's gotten comfortable throwing that straight hand. Like, he's never really felt that comfortable throwing that straight hand. If y'all don't know, if you go into boxing like Dillian Whyte later, being comfortable enough to throw that straight hand and not be countered, man, it takes time, right? And if you really look at it, he lowballed. That's what got him. He threw that slapping straight hand. It was a hook. He was beginning to be. A lot of people say there was a block of that hook, or there was no hook actually coming. Povetkin was, you know what I'm saying, he was flinching, or, you know what I'm saying, he was boom, boom, stutter stepping with that joint, boom, acting like he was gonna throw the right hook, you know what I'm saying? Really just move the shoulder, kind of move that motion, excuse me. Whyte went up the block, ducked down, act like he was gonna go for that liver shot right there. Whyte ducked down, but at the same time, we can go back to the fact that rather than a lot of people would say American style, but it's not even American style. Povetkin does the same thing. He ducks straight down. You go straight down. You don't go forward, right? Because anytime you're going forward, that upper hook cut. So, or even with that body shot, you don't even have to duck straight down. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you just turn. You're still blocking yourself. But at the same time, like I said, I think Dillian Whyte knows all this. Dillian Whyte knows all this shit. His team knows all this shit. I think it became a glorified sparring match. But anyways, that's my opinion. But boom, blah. You know what I'm saying? Came right up the middle with that uppercut. It was nasty. But I feel like everybody was trying to discredit Dillian Whyte right now. I think he's a lot better than a lot of y'all think. So I think y'all need to be careful, because he's gonna come back a lot stronger. Dillian Whyte's already asking for a rematch. He wants a rematch. That's a fact. Go ahead and look that up. He talked to Eddie Hearn. He said he wants a rematch. I would like to see that rematch, but I don't want to see it without fans, because I think that was the biggest aspect. I think what Whyte's gonna learn when he washes his back is, rather than after he hurts him, continuing to box, he does what he usually does, and he brawls, and he gets it there and he finishes it. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Povetkin earlier than Michael Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua. Like, really put that work on boy. But Povetkin ended up, he capitalized, and he played it smooth, and he understood that the game came into his territory, and he capitalized. There's no discredit to Povetkin. Povetkin looked great. Povetkin looked absolutely beautiful. You know what I'm saying? He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and he took advantage of the opportunity that was in front of him. But I still, to this day, I think Whyte is the better fighter. I'm not gonna say boxer. He's a better fighter though. With fans, I think it would have been different. But all respect to Povetkin, he deserves that. He got the belts now. I'll be interested to see, you know what I'm saying, if we're really talking about the heavyweight tourney, Povetkin moves on next. Remember, we got Pulev versus Anthony Joshua, Wilder versus Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? and Chisora versus Usyk. So I think next up is Chisora versus Usyk, if I'm correct. I can't wait to see who wins that. Most likely Usyk, unless Chisora does something similar to what Povetkin did. Then we got Chisora versus Povetkin. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. So salute to the people. We here, Black Goose, as always. You know what I'm saying? Had to give y'all a breakdown. You know what I'm saying? A lot of crazy shit going on in the heavyweight division. It's crazy, man. Like, there's no better way to be a boxing fan right now, but at the same time, the fights is crazy because there's no fans. So, you figuring that shit out. But that's the breakdown. That's how I saw it. That's how I thought it was going. So, salute to the people. Hope y'all stay up, man. As always, like, subscribe. Show some love, goddammit.